You're
I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing in Florida where the sun shines all day. I just caught me a grouper. So I'm fishing in Florida. Oh yeah, fishing in Florida.
Good morning from the Sunshine State. Broadcasting from Palm Beach County, it's the Fishing in Florida Show. Sundays from 8 to 10 a.m. on the WCET FM network. And now, here's your host, Riscala.
Good morning, good morning. Thanks for joining us. It is the Fishing in Florida Show. I am your host, Riscala. This morning I have Carolyn Stash. Carolyn is with Atlas Trax. And what I like to say about Carolyn, if you want to protect what you love to the max, you got to talk to my friend over there at Atlas Trax. Good morning, Carolyn.
Good morning, Riscala. It's a gorgeous day out here in Deerfield Beach.
It looks like a nice day here as well, but I don't think it's going to be too kind to the small craft out there this morning. As I'm looking at the first thing I do in the morning is start bringing up some pages. One of them is the Wonder Map, which shows us particular different layers on the Wonder Map, and I particularly like the radar. It shows live action all over the state, and right now the West Coast doesn't look like it's going to be a place for boats today. The East Coast is following closely. We have, according to the National Weather Bureau, the marine forecast is small craft should exercise caution today. It looks like it's going to be a little bit rough out there for the smaller people. So just remember that when you decide to go out. You know, there's plenty of backwater, there's plenty of intercoastal. Go in there. It's nice and smooth, and you can still enjoy the water. Just remember that with the conditions being the way they are, if you're going to decide to go to the beach today, just be aware of the rip currents. Take a good look at the water, and you'll see all that water coming in. It's got to go back out somewhere, and it finds like a channel, if you will. And stay away from that area. You don't want to be anywhere near that area because I don't care how strong of a swimmer you are, you can't beat it. It is extremely powerful. If you happen to get caught up into a rip current, they say go with the flow. Instead of swimming against the rip current, swim parallel to the shore, and you'll eventually get out of the rip current and come back in. We hope that you enjoy your day and that you're safe out there. This morning we've got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different people coming on today. Another variety show, if you will, a variety of people fishing from a variety of areas. And let me ask Carolyn. Carolyn, did you do any fishing this last week?
As a matter of fact, we did. My girls' ladies team fished the Chase and Tails tournament last weekend that's hosted by Summer Warren and her husband, and we actually made it to the scales. It was a fun tournament because we were able to catch snapper, bonita, kingfish, dolphin, wahoo, and we actually picked up a couple sailfish that were a lot of fun to catch. Not worthy of any points or anything, but we made it about 20 miles offshore, Riscala. It was flat, calm, and beautiful.
Oh, my goodness. You know, the one thing I didn't say was the tides. We have already had a low tide this morning, 4:12 in the morning. Our next high tide will be right after the show this morning, 10:36, and the next low tide will be 4:44 this afternoon, and the last high tide for this period will be 10:47. We're going to have Summer on next week. I asked her to come on today, but she is still working on breaking everything down, and there's a tremendous amount of work that goes in to these tournaments in the background that people may not be aware of. I mean, I think she told me it takes her weeks to get everything set up. And it was a one-day tournament, Carolyn?
But the captain's party was on Thursday night up at Tiki 52, which is an amazing venue. It was all outdoor, if you can imagine, Adirondack chairs and sand, and they had buffets set up for all the anglers, which was probably at their cost. There's probably 150, maybe 175 people, so it was great to see everybody out. We haven't seen each other in months and months and months. So I think this is really the first tournament where people were getting out and about. So you have that Thursday, and then, of course, the weigh-in, all of that, setting up the scales, and tallying everything up, and then the little party at the end of the night. So they've got to be exhausted.
And am I right? The actual tournament was just one day. Am I right or wrong about that?
Yeah, the tournament was one day. You could go out of any inlet that you wanted. I think she had about 147 boats, which is a really good amount of boats.
Wow. The fishing community here in South Florida is one of the most amazing communities. We're going to have Shaughn Miller on here in a little while, and I hope he'll reveal what he did for this tournament. Again, it's amazing. The people have hearts of gold. If you're in the fishing community and the community hears that you're in need of some sort, it just truly, it's eye-watering. It humbles you how people will come out seemingly out of the woodwork to see to it that they'll do the best they can to help you in whatever that situation is. It truly is an honor to be whatever small microscopic part of the fishing community it is. It's an honor to be that, to know these people who are just wonderful. I mean, you can't I can't put words on. Words can't properly describe it. Maybe that's a better way to do it. The actual tournament itself. Those of you who may have missed Summer when she came on and told us about the tournament is dedicated to a child that she had that died prematurely, and instead of being a victim, it helped her become a victor and help all of these other children. The proceeds from the tournament go to help families that are in need, that have a similar disease as her son or some kind of similar situation. They step up and because they've been through it, they know how difficult it is. They reach out to others. Just amazing. It really does. It really warms my heart to know that there are people out there. And Summer is not the only one, right, Carolyn? We have other people that do things like this.
Absolutely, and I know firsthand, and for your listeners that might not know, I mean, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I was diagnosed and had surgery 2 years ago, and there was another tournament called Blue Water Babes that actually helped me financially with some car payments when I wasn't able to make them. They really give back to the local community. We've got Crossing for Cystic Fibrosis. That gives back 100% of the proceeds to the local community with CF. So these are all outdoor water fishing folks that have experienced something that are now turning the negative part into an amazing part. And Chasing Tails is wonderful. Financial assistance. They send food out to hospitals, so kids and families there don't have to eat hospital food. They do some wonderful things.
That truly is amazing. And there was one that just comes to mind. You were going to be involved in, but because of the COVID thing, it had to be canceled. And that was some kind of a paddleboard or something, right?
Sure, that was Crossing for Cystic Fibrosis, which is postponed until next Father's Day weekend. And that was started by Travis Suit in Palm Beach, whose daughter, Piper, was diagnosed with cystic fibrosis. And the ocean helps you breathe better in the salt. So they decided to start paddleboarding from the Bahamas to raise awareness back to the States, which is 80 miles. And next year, we have a team of 2 breast cancer survivors and 2 sisters with CF. But believe it or not, Rascala, 200 paddlers, 80 to 100 support boats, 400 to 500 people total will move across the ocean starting at midnight on June 21st.
Wow. Again, this is just a reflection of the kind of people that are in the fishing community. And it's not just here in South Florida, but I say South Florida because that's where we're at. But because some of these people come from miles away to come and be a part of this stuff. But it is basically organized by people here in South Florida, and it goes to benefit people who are in need. One of the things I love to do, and one of the things that I love to hear about, is where everybody wins. This is why I like to have people like Liza Fitzgerald on. Captain Neil Holland on, and there's another one it won't come to mind right away, but these are people who do things that help the environment, and through helping the environment, that everybody wins. Again, when we're looking at something like this Chasing Tails tournament, people are having a great time, and they win money, and the people who are in need of money get financial help. So it's a win-win. Everybody win. You can't ask, in my opinion, in my experience of life, when you set something up where everybody wins, I don't know how anybody can complain about something. I don't know how anybody wouldn't support something like that.
And not only that, Rascala, usually the fish get donated, and when they do, they go out to senior homes or other places, soup kitchens that might need to have some nice fresh meals. So most of the folks, including ourselves, just donated our fish.
Wow. See, I wasn't aware of that. That reminds me of, Oh, that young lady, Stephanie Lynn. She, and again, this is just a testimony of some of the people that are involved in the community. Stephanie was involved in corporate America. This is kind of paraphrasing everything. She was involved in corporate America, but her dream was to live on the water, to have a catamaran or a boat that was big enough to live on in the water. She left all of that and found a way to buy a catamaran. She is living off of the waters in Bimini. She teaches people how to free dive. She goes spearfishing, free diving, and many times when she's visiting the smaller islands, she will do her free diving. She will catch whatever it is that's down there, and then she'll share it with the people on the island. It's just like she keeps it for herself. She shares it with the people on the island. Again, it's just a testimony to the different people and the giving that they have, that everybody's just, they're first up to give there. Sounds like we have Robert on the phone. Good morning, Robert.
Good morning.
Good.
Everybody staying dry?
Yeah, so far.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a wet
Been
day.
lovely couple of days, hasn't it?
Go ahead, Carolyn.
Absolutely.
And she's
Here in
fading out.
Deerfield, it was pouring half of the day.
Did you
Yeah,
hear
it's rained here for like 2 days.
Did you hear her, Robert? Did she fade out when she first started talking? Was it just on my end?
She did?
Yeah.
It faded out.
Yeah, I don't know what happens, Carolyn, but when you start to talk, the first maybe 2 or 3 words fade out, and then you come right in. It's like your phone's not catching up to you talking. Yeah.
Good morning,
My phone is
Carolyn.
Good morning, Robert. My phone's in Sunday mode. My brain's in Monday mode.
Oh, my goodness. Robert, let's talk about fishing. How much fishing have you done, my friend?
None.
Oh, my goodness.
By the time I got the magazine finished, it started raining.
Oh, that's right, the magazine. Yeah.
And it's been raining ever since. So.
Yeah, we've had, oh, my gosh. I know we've had a lot of
flood warnings and everything last night. It was really bad. So.
I was going to say, I know we've had a lot of rain. When one of the areas that's usually dry, regardless of how much rain we get, is now completely saturated and soaking wet. So I knew we had a lot. It must have been raining like constantly all night long.
Yeah, I just looked and the bike trails are closed. So.
Oh. There goes that fun.
Yep, they're flooded, so that's out.
That's not going to be a good idea. Yeah, it's looking at the radar on the west coast of Florida is just pretty miserable, according to the radar. There's just a lot of activity going on the west coast, and there's activity actually starting up even more now. It wasn't quite as bad when I first logged in, and now it looks like it's building up even more on the east coast. So we're giving them a run for their money when it comes to bad weather on the other side of the state.
Well, that's good to know. Yeah.
Did you
But
did you go to the?
I can tell you this.
Go ahead.
There was a lot of pictures of people fishing sent in. So fishing's been going on, just not in my area because we've been being drowned. But been a lot of fishing going on. So. A lot of inshore fishing, not a lot of offshore fishing for the last week. So.
Any reports of what's being caught?
Yeah, lots of snook, tarpon,
Wow.
redfish. Lots of inshore guys sending me lots of stuff. So most of the offshore guys were pretty quiet last week. So a couple
Wow.
of them were out. Got Fish Monster out of Key West was out a couple of days. It was really rough. I mean, he was doing videos out there, and it was just, he was rocking and rolling. But he got some videos, and they got some nice wahoo. So.
Oh my! I was going to ask you if you were covering the Chasing Tails tournament. Did you do any of that?
No, I did not.
Okay, we're going to have.
I did not.
We're going to have
Is
Summer
coming on.
Yeah, we'll have Summer on next week. I asked her on to come on today and give us an update, but they're still cleaning up from clearing the area and getting everything put away. So we'll have an update. But we had Carolyn was in the tournament, and she gave us her experience of it. And I think Carolyn, was Shaughn in it as well?
Yeah, kicked our butts all over town. He's always at one of the top teams that finishes. He'll be able to give us some real good feedback,
Yeah.
and he's actually one of the title sponsors too for them. So he's great. I mean, he gets up there, he volunteers his time. You know, he volunteers for so many other things and organizes
Yeah.
so many other children's programs. But he'll give us a real good update on Chasing Tails and how he finished.
Yeah, so we'll get another update from him as well. How is the magazine? I take it now is ready to ride.
The magazine is out. It is out, and it came out really good. We had lots of people send in stories. We had 400 pictures sent in, which I think I got down to about 10 pages worth. So
No wonder you
But,
have to put so much work into getting this stuff done. I had no idea there's that many pictures. Gosh, my goodness.
well, yeah, when we send out that thing to send in the pictures for readers' features, they come in from everywhere. I ask them to please email them, but they don't. They send them on Messenger. They send them on.
Yeah.
They email them. Email is great. It's much easier to get them off of there to work on the magazine than it is to start looking through messengers and
Yeah, inevitably,
Facebook posts and all sorts of shit.
inevitably, when you have them coming in from all these different places, something's going to fall between the cracks, and you're going to miss it.
Absolutely, that's exactly what happens.
I run into something similar to that when I'm working full time. I ask anybody who wants a service call, you have to email me, and some people will send me a text on my phone. Some people send me a message on Facebook, and I just have to reply and say, you've got to send me an email. I don't mean to be a jerk about it, but there's a reason why, because you'll fall through the cracks, and inevitably we won't be able to do what you need. So yeah, I run into that, and it becomes irritating because people are expecting you to respond out of the norm, if you will, and for me it becomes a real nightmare. And I know from experience that people will fall through the cracks inevitably. If you're getting it from all different areas, it's a characteristic of what's happening. So I'm right there with you. I agree with you, my friend. So if you want to send something to Robert, you have to use email.
Pages at flfishmag.com. Pages at flfishmag.com. And I will get it, and it will get into the magazine.
and the website for the magazine
is www.flfishmag.com, and issue number 26 is up there right now. All you got to do is tap the cover and it'll open. So.
Hot dog. So now that you've got that out of the way, are you going to sneak out to the secret snook area?
I'm going to head down to the Keys. So.
Oh, you're going down the Keys. I thought you were going to go out to the secret snook area.
Well, that's a late night thing, and late night lately has been lots of rain. So
yeah. So you headed down. Where in the Keys are you going?
I go down with against the grain charters for a couple of days. And
oh, excellent.
They have a new baby I have not seen. So.
Oh my.
Melanie had a baby named Jace, and I have not met Jace yet, so I want to go meet Jace. And
well, congratulations to them. I think Carolyn's. You trying to say something, Carolyn, or is that my?
Yeah, I was going to say something about snook. For some reason, I couldn't sleep in the middle of the night the other day, and I went out to the dock, and it sounded like boiling water.
No
outside.
way!
I couldn't believe how many snook were chasing bait up against the walls, the sea walls of the canal. And the only thing I could think about, and my neighbor has a green light. It was amazing. The only thing I could think about was running and get shrimp and some hot dogs and see what happened. It was insane.
Shrimp and hot dogs?
I figured they're going to like one of them.
Wait a minute.
I got to have a shot with either one of those, some hot dogs or some shrimp.
Oh my God, I wasn't ready for that. Somebody told us they were using hot dogs for bait for something. I don't remember, but I do remember one of the guests was it, or maybe it was you, using hot dogs.
Yeah.
You're fishing for something using hot dogs. What were you fishing for?
Some catfish, canal fishing, and they like the hot dogs too.
Hey, that's a nice snook. Where'd you catch them on? Hot dogs.
Yeah, Oscar Mayer.
Right? Yeah, buy one get one free. Don't worry about that expensive bait.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I wasn't ready for that, Carolyn. Oh, that's a good way to start the morning. A nice, good laugh. Get the blood rolling.
Perfect.
Oh, my goodness. All right. Robert, anything else you'd like to tell us about? Anything else you want to share with us this morning?
Not really. The magazine is done. Hope everybody enjoys it. I'm going to take off for about a week, and I'll see you guys later. So.
Robert, safe travels, my friend. Thank you so much for taking time to call in. God bless you. And I'll be looking forward to speaking to you next week with an update about the keys.
You guys have a great week, and we'll talk to you later.
Good, Carolyn.
Drive safe. It's slippery out there.
You betcha.
You're listening to the Fishing in Florida show with your host, Scholar Stevens. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
When it comes to parenting, there are no perfect answers. But that's okay, because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on adoption, visit adoptuskids.org. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Thinking of moving? Before you do anything else, call Diane Whittick. She provides a concierge service. Things like having your home or condo packed and shipped. Even take care of your home repairs or upgrades. Diane has the expertise to get it done. As a seller, you will have constant contact. She will furnish you with bids on any services that might need completion. Air conditioning, plumbing, handyman, and even cleaning. Living up north and have a home to sell here in South Florida? Just give her the keys, address, and a signature. Your payment will be wired when the property is sold. That's right, Diane does it all. Thinking of buying? Diane has great listening skills. Tell her what you want, give her your budget, and like a genie, she will make your real estate wish come true. There's no regrets when you choose Diane Whittick. To reach Diane, call 561-247-5478. That's 561-247-5478.
Do you need toner for your Epson, Hewlett-Packard, Canon, Brother, Apple, or Sharp printers? Look no further than Laser Technologies. In business for over 20 years, they offer the lowest prices on toner on the web. They can also repair your laser printers and toners fast and easy. Call their expert staff today at 561-792-9600 or email us at service@laser-technologies.com for all your toner needs. All toner is shipped nationwide. Why wait? Get the lowest prices on toner. Call or email us today.
Do you have an unusual pet? Did you know that the Rainforest Clinic in Loxahatchee specializes in exotic pets? They see pets that other vets don't. Parrots and chickens, ducks, geese, turtles, snakes, goats, pigs, lizards, and even monkeys. Are you a beekeeper? Dr. Clubb, the first of her kind in the area? Yes, she takes care of bees as well. Dr. Susan Clubb has decades of experience and known around the world for her reputation as a premier avian vet. Located at 3319 E Road in Loxahatchee, just a short distance north of Okeechobee Road, you will find a modern clinic with in-house labs, which allow you to get your test answers quickly. You can find them online at www.susanclub.com. That's www.susanclubb.com. Or you can reach her at 561-795-4878. It's Dr. Susan Clubb. That's 561-795-4878. The Rainforest Clinic located in Loxahatchee. 561-795-4878.
Want to give your pet the celebrity treatment? Have you heard of Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care in Royal Palm Beach? They're located just off State Road 7 and have been servicing the area for 14 years. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care is the home of the Blueberry Facial, also specializing in tartar removal with 8 years of assisting in dental procedures. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care? They're more than just about dogs. They are the only experienced cat groomer in the area. They also cater to all breeds and sizes and open 6 days a week. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care, located just north of the Super Walmart in Royal Palm Beach. You can find them at 250 Business Parkway. They specialize in shampoos with no extra charge. Flea and tick dips also available. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care. You can give them a call at 561-793-9992. They also provide gift certificates for those looking for that special present. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care. 561-793-9992. They're located in Royal Palm Beach. That number, 561-793-9992. Call for your appointment today.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
We have ignition. Strap in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing
Good morning from the Sunshine State. Broadcasting from Palm Beach County, it's the Fishing in Florida Show. Sundays from 8 to 10 a.m. on the WCET FM network. And now, here's your host, Riscala.
All right, we are back. It is Fishing in Florida Show. Good morning, good morning. If you're just joining us, we will have archives set up. We'll have a link to those archives on our Facebook page. There's many different ways that you can listen to us. The easiest of all of those ways is we do have an app that's absolutely free. Here's the thing about the app. I was involved in the design of the app, and I told the designers that I wanted an app that did not have spyware, an app that did not do push notifications, an app that did not have adware. Just a simple app that people can listen to the network on. And that's exactly what we have. You know, a lot of times when you download something, it's, quote, free. There's always something that comes with it. You have to sign some kind of an agreement, and then a lot of the mobile apps have some kind of adware or spyware. They watch you where you go, and then they advertise to you. If you're looking for camping equipment, all of a sudden camping equipment shows up. You know, we don't do that. There's none of that. So the app is absolutely free. You can find it at the Google Play Store. I think it's in Apple as well. And the easiest way to find it is WCET-FM. That is our home network. And again, the app is free. If you have the TuneIn app, well, then we have a big thank you to Marina Rock Radio, because Marina Rock Radio is on the TuneIn app. So if you have the TuneIn app, you don't need to download our app. You can go to Marine Rock Radio and find us that way. If you are a Facebook fanatic, then you can go on Facebook and you'll find us there, Fishing in Florida Show. And if you will click on Contact Us, then you'll get a link right to the live server. And of course, another way that you can do is just go to our home network, which is www.wcetfm.com, and there's a player there as well. So several different ways that you can listen to us. The easiest of all is, of course, the app, where you can just be anywhere. And we did have a recent upgrade to the app while I'm thinking about it. We had some of the, and by the way, the app is only available for Android right now. Some of the Android devices were, the app was cutting out. What was happening is the phone was going to sleep and the app was shutting down. That was a little bug that we had, and we have resolved that problem. So if you have the old version of the app, uninstall it and install the new version, and you won't have that problem. If your phone decides to go to sleep, you'll still be able to listen to whatever's going on the network at that particular time. So a big thank you to Marina Rock Radio, because they do carry our show for us every Sunday morning. A big thank you to our home network, and a thank you to the subscribers that keep the network going. Thank you to everyone. Greatly appreciate it. Welcome back, Miss Carolyn. And let's see, we're looking for Shaughn Miller. I think he's to be calling in here in a few minutes. Let's talk a second about Atlas Trax while we're waiting for him, because there's so many things that we can talk about when it comes to Atlas Trax and all the different things that Atlas Trax does. One of my favorites is the very little portable tracking device that you have. It's about the size of a credit card overall, but a little thicker than that, but about the size of a credit card overall. And it can be literally taken anywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll tell you, that's our most popular item that we have. And the fact that people can just put it in their pocket, or we had a customer actually headed to the Bahamas and needed to put some of these on lobster boats. Here's an interesting concept. So these big processing ships for lobsters in the Bahamas had these small little 16-foot runaround boats that guys go out, jump in the water and collect lobsters. Then they bring them back to the big mothership. What they do, Riscala, is they anchor out overnight sometimes and sleep in these little skiffs, and the anchors come free in the middle of the night and they drift away. So they lose these guys in these little skiffs, and the Bahamian Coast Guard has to go out and look for these guys. So they actually put 10 trackers on their boats, I think probably today and tomorrow. So when they go out for 21 days, if these guys, fall asleep and drift away like castaway, they're able to at least go find them.
Wow, that's kind of scary. Fall asleep on a little boat and find out that your anchor is broken loose, and no telling where you'll end up at that point. My gosh! All right, I think we have Shaughn on. Good morning, Shaughn.
Hey, good morning. How's everything today?
Good.
You're breaking up, Carolyn. Say it
Hello?
again.
I'm so
Carolyn,
glad you're
can
on.
you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you fine.
Perfect.
Shaughn, we can hear you. Carolyn's phone is a little wacky. When she starts talking, some of it gets distorted, and then she kicks in. How are you doing, my friend?
Oh, good. Always. Always having a good time. Trying to do as much fishing. We have a lot of tournaments going on this past couple months. It's been rough, especially with the seas going on. How's everything been going with you guys?
Go ahead, Carolyn.
Well, it's good, Shaughn. So I was bragging about you helping out chasing tails and how you guys were always out there. So I'd love to have your fishing report. We caught a couple snapper, bonita, and nice dolphin. I mean, sure you guys did a great job out there for chasing tails in summer. Warren.
Well, the one best thing that I love about Summer and her entire team, and all the kids and the families that they help out, we got involved with Chasing Tails probably about 3 years ago, when we found out exactly what they were doing, Summer Warren and, her husband and their entire story, really hit home with me and our entire committee that we have with the foundation. And that we started raising funds for them, probably we do it over the entire 12 months of the year. Everything helps, a little bit here, a little bit there, and it adds up. And, we were able to give them, $5,000 to help them toward their cause this year. When we went up there, some of these tournaments, it's not about, the money. It's about the camaraderie, that they bring, the teams, the families they bring together. So we went out, with I think a 5-man crew this year, looking for the biggest king because, we are part of the SKA, the Southern Kingfish Association, and Angler Armory. And if you guys don't know Jay, and Jenny over there at Angler Armory, they are by far like one of the biggest king fishing clubs out there. So, we came out as a KDW for the Chasing Tails, looking for the biggest king that we could find. Come to find out, most of those kings, big kings, they just moved up far north. We worked Loran Towers that day. We found some kings, but we also picked up, a nice, I think, 22-pound blackfin.
Nice.
Which is, it was a nice blackfin, and it was. We thought we had a nice king on. But other than that, we did get a bonita. We brought to the scales as well, but we thought we were going to push you out, Carolyn. I think you still beat us. Next time.
Yeah, but that's okay, Shaughn. Somebody beat us out at the end too. So, but it was nice to get up on the board.
That is true. That's for sure. Great people, man. I got the opportunity to meet some new teams. It was a blast, and I wish I would have had the opportunity to hang out with your guys and your guys' entire team as well. But there'll be more tournaments. There's gonna be more fish cats. So I look forward to hanging out with you, Carolyn, as soon as I can.
Oh, absolutely. And I'll tell you, one of my customers, real captivating. They made all that cool gear for us and donated it to us and donated the boat for us to get out there and share our cancer story. And I'll tell you what, the girls are getting better and better each time at grabbing a rod and getting to the scale. So we're chasing you. We're chasing you, Shaughn.
Well, believe me, I'm going to keep on going against you. We're all become like against each other during these tournaments, but we're all great friends, one way or another.
Oh, absolutely. And there's another one coming up in a couple weeks, right? The Big Dog has a tournament.
Big Dog Kingfish Battle is the last one of the SKA and Angler Armory series, which is Division 11. We're going to be pushing for this. We needed like a 47-pound king to stay in the top 5 for our division, and Angler Armory too, which is Southern Florida, Division 3. So you're going to see us. We're going to be pushing hard this time, though.
Awesome. What else do you have going on with your organizations? Anything last couple of months that we haven't heard about?
Oh yeah, well we have our dead bait tournament, and our dead bait tournament for we put on 12 tournaments a year, and like I said, every single tournament that we put on, we allocate or earmark most of that money toward our foundation, which is the OAPB Fishing Foundation, and that's to just like Chasing Tails, the Naked Warrior Project, which is for like Navy SEALs families. A lot of money goes toward that, so we earmark a lot of that money toward that. But in reality, the biggest thing that we do is we're trying to bring the families of our community together, peewee anglers, junior anglers, and bring them together so they start actually meeting a lot of our tournament teams and get a feeling of what it's like, putting a rod in their hands and seeing that adrenaline rush that you get. And it gets them hooked, like almost like right away. And then once we have our junior anglers and peewees, we start teaching them, about our fishery, how to take care of, our environment, and to make sure, realistically, you want our fishery to be strong, especially for our future children, everyone that's coming through out of Hillsborough and the Boca, not government cut. We don't really go that far down, but, Florida Everglades. Once we get them involved, it changes things. They start watching, what they're doing, how they're releasing their fish, and it's key. And so that's what the dead bait tournament's all about. We're not using any live bait. It's pure lures. Learning how to rig your ballyhoos, doing split tails on your goggle eyes when you're slow trolling. But I mean, it's inexpensive. It's only $200. But you're not spending a lot of money, and you're fishing right out of the inlet. So it's kind of cool.
I know you probably didn't hear the first part of the show, but I was saying how the fishing community here in South Florida reaches out and does so much, giving back to the community itself. And what you just said, just prior to what the words you just said about the kids and the families, prior to that, about how the fishing community is so great, kind of confirms what I was telling people earlier. There is a group of people here in the South Florida area, and I know there's probably other areas as well where fishing is involved, but here in South Florida, there's a group of people who reach out, like I said earlier, almost seemingly out of the woodwork. If they find somebody that is in need, they find a way to help that person or family. And I just can't say enough positive things about the fishing community here in South Florida. Fishing for me growing up was a vital part of my growing up. I mean, we didn't have technology like we had today. Well, our technology was either you went out all day and played, literally, physically played all day, or you went out and some of us had saltwater canals nearby, so we had little boats. You go out in a little boat. I chose to fish from the shore, and I would fish the canals. And it really kept me out of a lot of trouble. As I grew older, my family would go fishing typically 3 or 4 times a month, and I think that played a vital part of the glue, if you will, that held the family together. And that's one of the reasons I do what I do. I do this fishing show so that people know that you have something else that you can do. With all of the things that are going on, and you'd have to be sleeping under a rock to say that it's pure insanity sometimes what goes on today. This is a way to get away from it all. You go out and you enjoy what God has given us. The oceans, my gosh, how many times have I said, if you don't like water, you're in the wrong place. We got water everywhere. This place is like a sponge. We have what we call brackish water lakes. We have thousands of canals. We have water on 3 sides of the state. If you don't like water, you're not in the right place. Like somebody who doesn't like snow being up in Alaska or something. It's just not in the right place. So enjoy what we have, and while you're enjoying it, use that experience to share with your kids. I love that Shaughn is teaching children about our future is our kids. And if they're learning how important the environment is, again, it's a win-win situation. They're going to win by having the knowledge and hopefully spreading that knowledge to other kids, people of their age group. And then as that happens, the environment becomes more and more friendly for us to fish in. The fish win, the kids win, we win, everybody wins. I love it. This is great. I want to commend you. You made it sound like it was no big deal. We raised $5,000 and gave them $5,000. That's a big deal. To me, that's a really big deal. $5,000 is a lot of money, and I'm sure that will go to help a tremendous amount of people that are in need. And I just want to say thank you. I greatly appreciate that.
You know what? That was our goal this year. We're shooting for 10,000 for next year.
Wow.
And I'm more than sure we will get it. So.
Wow. Go ahead, Carolyn.
I was going to say, and the other fun part of the whole equation is anytime Shaughn rolls into a tournament, he always has a nice little hotel suite as far as for get-togethers and, seeing your friends and developing camaraderie and talking a little smack. And it's when he's around and his team, there's going to be fun and laughing and hugging and all that other good stuff.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Carolyn, I didn't see you up in the VIP suite this year, but I think we had like 4 or 5 teams up there, making some Tito's. And, I know you have one of your friends that does the mermaid vodka. We have to bring her in so that we are drinking mermaid vodka on the next one. But,
and you know what? I'll tell you what, we would appreciate that because with the sales are down for her a lot and she's getting a little nervous. So, yeah, we'll definitely, next suite, let's make it a mermaid suite.
It's like those little times, right before those tournaments, it brings teams together. And when you're sitting there, you're looking each other in the face, you build like these long lifetime friendships in like moments in time, and if they wouldn't have come up to VIP, how do you know? I mean, maybe in passing, but I mean, you create friends that you know for a long time, and fishing brings friends together. It brings families. That's as far as I'm concerned.
Amen.
And that's one of the things why I love to fish is the camaraderie that I found and that I built.
I love it. It just confirms what I said. It brings people together, and if your people happen to be a family, guess what? It's bringing you together.
Yeah.
And that's something that we really need today, more than ever. Our families should be our rock in lives, to know that this is somewhere that you can go and feel safe and have a good experience and be able to share with your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, your cousins, whatever that might be. And sometimes family's not necessarily blood either. There are people who I know that they're just as close to me as my family is. So it's not always just necessarily blood. But it is a definite way to enjoy. Everybody's enjoying the same experience at the same time, yet they're seeing something different. It's a different perception in a way from each person. And when you can sit down and enjoy it all at the same time, and then you go back and you talk about it, just like you and Carolyn were discussing about this tournament. You go back and you talk, oh yeah, we did this, we did that, we caught this, we did that. Again, the communication to me is one of the components in being able to have a good relationship. And the subjects that you can discuss that are easier to communicate with leads to subjects that you can discuss that are more difficult to communicate with. Does that make sense?
100%. You're networking,
Yep.
Right. And there's something else we want to remember. Shaughn is running the Offshore Angler Pompano Beach Fishing Club. So Shaughn, tell our listeners, how can they get a hold of you and sign up for the club and do all the socials like we're going to start doing again, the monthly socials, the fishing tournaments?
That's so funny. I was just hanging out with a few of the bartenders the other night from Clues. Every month, we bring all of our members over to the Clues restaurant over on the Intercoastal, and we buy all the appetizers. And like I said, it's all about bringing new members together, bringing their friends together, and having people join the club and understand what's going on. And we do this once a month. We have a meeting where we have a guest speaker on the third Monday of every month. The second Monday, we do a social at the Clues out in their lounge, and we just found out they've opened that back up. So we're now about to start doing all of our socials again. Sands Harbor now just said that we can now start doing our meetings again. There's a little bit of normalcy coming back to it. Of course, got to be a little bit, there's still this social distance going on, but the county's allowing us to bring larger groups. And, my phone's been blowing up on a consistent basis, wondering when we're going to start doing this again. But, you can always go to our website, Offshore Anglers, PompanoBeach.org. You can also go to the OAPB Fishing Foundation.org. And you just click on what we're all about, and you can join as a member. And we do all kinds of events all year long, from traveling to Cabo, to Nicaragua, Costa Rica. And we usually book out the entire resort where we're going, and we bring everyone down. We love to have new members. It's all about fishing. That one thing that we all have in common, we love to fish. And I think that is the key.
I like that. All right.
And it's family friendly. That's the best part.
That's our slogan: fish, friends, and family.
Oh, I love it. I got to remember that.
Perfect.
Fish, friends, and family.
Well, Thanks for calling in on Sundays. I know you're normally sleeping in because you're always fishing the tournament on Saturday, but we appreciate you coming on.
Oh my God! These days, I always look forward to it, especially if I have the time. And it's believe it or not, it's rare to come by nowadays. But this was awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, God bless you, my friend. I want to thank you for all that you do and giving back to the community. And we'll be looking forward to having you back on sometime in the future here and giving us updates. Wish you an awesome day, what's left of it here. Go ahead, Carolyn, and we'll go to break.
Tight line, Shaughn. I'll see you in the neighborhood somewhere.
I'll see you soon. Competing against you, Carolyn.
You got
You're
it.
listening to the Fishing in Florida show with your host, Scala Stevens. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Thinking of moving? Before you do anything else, call Diane Whittick. She provides a concierge service. Things like having your home or condo packed and shipped. Even take care of your home repairs or upgrades. Diane has the expertise to get it done. As a seller, you will have constant contact. She will furnish you with bids on any services that might need completion. Air conditioning, plumbing, handyman, and even cleaning. Living up north and have a home to sell here in South Florida? Just give her the keys, address, and a signature. Your payment will be wired when the property is sold. That's right, Diane does it all. Thinking of buying? Diane has great listening skills. Tell her what you want, give her your budget, and like a genie, she will make your real estate wish come true. There's no regrets when you choose Diane Whittick. To reach Diane, call 561-247-5478. That's 561-247-5478.
Do you need toner for your Epson, Hewlett-Packard, Canon, Brother, Apple, or Sharp printers? Look no further than Laser Technologies. In business for over 20 years, they offer the lowest prices on toner on the web. They can also repair your laser printers and toners fast and easy. Call their expert staff today at 561-792-9600 or email us at service@laser-technologies.com for all your toner needs. All toner is shipped nationwide. Why wait? Get the lowest prices on toner. Call or email us today.
Do you have an unusual pet? Did you know that the Rainforest Clinic in Loxahatchee specializes in exotic pets? They see pets that other vets don't. Parrots and chickens, ducks, geese, turtles, snakes, goats, pigs, lizards, and even monkeys. Are you a beekeeper? Dr. Clubb, the first of her kind in the area? Yes, she takes care of bees as well. Dr. Susan Clubb has decades of experience and known around the world for her reputation as a premier avian vet. Located at 3319 E Road in Loxahatchee, just a short distance north of Okeechobee Road, you will find a modern clinic with in-house labs, which allow you to get your test answers quickly. You can find them online at www.susanclubb.com. That's www.susanclubb.com. Or you can reach her at 561-795-4878. It's Dr. Susan Clubb. That's 561-795-4878. The Rainforest Clinic located in Loxahatchee.
Grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing in Florida where the sun shines all day. I just caught me a grouper. So I'm fishing in Florida. Oh yeah, fishing in Florida.
Good morning from the Sunshine State. Broadcasting from Palm Beach County, it's the Fishing in Florida show. Sundays from 8 to 10 a.m. on the WCET FM network. And now, here's your host, Riscala.
All right, we are back. It is the Fishing in Florida show. Oh, and we have we have technical difficulties. My goodness. All right, we are back. It is the Fishing in Florida show. Good morning. Good morning. If you're just joining us, we will have archives set up on the Fishing in Florida show on Facebook. If you're a Facebook fanatic, go to Facebook, find Fishing in Florida show, and you click on Contact Us. You'll have our live server. Or you can, the easiest way is to download our app, absolutely free, no spyware, no adware, no push notifications. We do have the upgraded version. If you have the old version, uninstall the old version, install the new version, and the little bug that we had in there where it would go to sleep after a few minutes is gone. You can listen to it all you want. Or you can go to our home network, which is WCETFM.com, and we have a player there. If you have the TuneIn app, we want to say a big thank you, and that thank you goes to Marina Rock Radio. Marina Rock Radio is on the TuneIn app, so if you have the TuneIn app, go to Marina Rock Radio. They are one of our affiliates that helps. We thank them so much because they help us get the word out there, and you can listen to the show that way. So several different ways you can listen to the show. Again, thank you for taking the time to tune in. My co-host this morning, Carolyn. Carolyn is with Atlas Trax. If you want to protect what you love to the max, who are you going to call? Carolyn at Atlas Trax. Welcome back, Miss Carolyn.
Yeah, absolutely, Rascala. And I'm peeking out the window here, so these big, huge clouds are starting to break apart a little bit. And a little bit of sun's coming through the sky now, so that's hopefully a good thing to get some folks to the beach.
Well, I'll take a look at the radar here in just a minute. But let me welcome our next guest. The next guest is Terrie Huffman. Terrie is a lady angler. I think we learned about Terrie from another lady angler we're going to have on today, who's a friend of hers, if I'm not mistaken. That's Wanda. Welcome, Terrie. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning, and congratulations on your article in Coastal Angler magazine.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
So
it was awesome.
Share with us a little bit about this article that you did.
This was a fishing trip that we went on. I say we, me and my husband, and it was last year. And, well, no, matter of fact, it was the beginning of this year, and that's when I caught my first dirty 30 trout. It was like 30.4. And all in the same day, I caught some really nice reds out of the size that we're normally used to catching. That was the only trout we caught that day, and just caught reds, huge reds, all day long out of the slot size to where we had to release them. And I did it all on one little cut piece of bait, pinfish, a cut tail. And it was funny because I used that one tail for all them fish I caught all day and never lost it. So it was pretty awesome.
That is
and it got me on the cover. It was
the magic
and that
bait.
Trout got me on the cover of Florida's Woods and Water magazine, I think of April's issue.
Congratulations. You know,
Thank you.
Did you get a picture of the bait?
You know, matter of fact, I did. I laid it out in the bottom of the boat and took a picture of it because I had it under a popping cork. And I took a picture of it. I did, and I do have it.
So all you have to do is figure out what was unique about that piece of bait. That was
I know.
You might be able to make yourself a couple of million real quick.
If I could keep that thing to looking, well, it looked ratchet whenever by the day was over with. But I just kept throwing it, and my husband was like, you might want to put on a fresh piece. I'm like, I'm just going to keep going with this one. And it was crazy because it was all out the same hole, and we just power pole down.
That's too funny.
And it was unreal. And we've been back to that hole, I don't know, let me say, probably 5 times since then because it kind of slowed up with the COVID. But we've gone back, and it's like nothing.
No,
so it's funny how that works.
You mentioned the COVID thing. I think, are you in Louisiana? Is that where you're at?
I actually live in South Georgia, but we live 3 different directions from the Florida state line, like 10 minutes. So we will go out of the Big Bend areas, out of Keaton and like Steenahatchee. This particular day, I want to say, well, we went out of Osceola.
So I wanted to ask you, wherever you were fishing, as we progressed with this COVID thing, do you see any of the restrictions lifting? Is it a little easier now to get out and about, or is it still about the same?
Absolutely. It's much easier.
Good.
All the boat ramps are back open, and everybody seems to be moving along and doing their thing, and nothing has been said about cases being spread through that. And thankfully, because you know, everybody loves to fish, and I think it's great to get out on the water, and that's the best place for social distance. And put your boat in, take it out, and
there you go.
And go on. So it's been wonderful. So no complaints here.
Terrie, I have a question. When you said you were fishing a hole, how far offshore are you fishing a hole, or are you backcountry? Like, tell our listeners what that means.
Yeah, I know that sounds funny. I do live in the country, so whenever I refer to one hole, no, it's not offshore. It's crazy because as soon as we come out to the river, we just cut over and just go a couple of miles, and we get up against the sawgrass line, fishing in like 3 to 5 foot of water. So you're not
Wow,
offshore at all. I mean,
and they just kind of hang out in the same spot. They spawn in. They just they know where to go.
Exactly. That is exactly right. The bigger ones normally move in around that time of the year when we caught them. So they'll kind of move in closer to the grass lines because that's where they go up in there and spawn. You're correct, very correct on that. We could, but they change. I mean, they're fish. They got tails and they swim. You can go one day and you can just tear them up, and you can go the next day and they won't be nothing there. So it's kind of crazy how that works. Or you could go back the next day and be like, right back on them. We went last weekend and I caught another personal best trout that I'm very proud of, and it was a 31.3 inches. And just probably 15 minutes before that, my husband caught his personal best trout, which was 29 inches. So
Wow.
we had a great weekend last weekend as well, and we fished in off an oyster bar, which when I call a hole, we like to call them our holes, but it's an oyster bar right off. It wasn't by the saw grass, but it was probably about a half a mile out off sawgrass around some deep holes around some oyster bars. And we have fished that many, many times and caught some nice trout and stuff out of there, but nothing like we did last weekend. It was awesome. That one's on my Facebook page too. Matter of fact, I made it my profile picture.
I wanted to ask you, when you were saying you had to throw the reds back, was it because they were not in season?
They're not in slot size. Where we're from, like the rules are different throughout different places.
Mm-hmm.
You got zones. And where we're at, we're only allowed to keep one red per person per day, and it has to be within between 18 and 27 inches. And the ones we were catching that day would be anywhere from 30 to 34 inches in the reds.
Wow.
Now, to us, that's big, kind of like bull reds. I mean, it's not like when you go into Venice and areas like that where you go getting on up in the 40, 45 inches. But we've had some nice reds caught in the area. But I think the biggest red I've caught was like 33 or 34 inches.
Wow.
But yes, we released them. And my first trout, I caught them again of the year. We was not able. She wouldn't revive because she bit, under a popping cork. The trout that I caught last weekend, I was able to grab a couple of quick pictures because I was fishing with a plastic, a K-Dean blazing shad roach on a Texas Rattler rig. So it didn't swallow it, and so we were able to revive her. And about 5 minutes in the water, he had her head and I had her tail, and kind of swished her around and revived her, and she took off like a champ.
So I wanted to ask you, what happens in a situation where you do your best not to harm the fish, but the fish ends up dying? Do you still have to put the fish back in the water?
Unfortunately, you do. If you've already got your limit in the boat,
mm-hmm.
and you've already got your slot limit in the boat, sadly, it's true. You have to do that. Our law changed this year as well. We can keep 5 trout per person. They used to be, and you can still keep 5 trout per person. It used to be within the size of from 15 inches to 20 inches. But you could have one, well, actually, could be over, but you can only have one over 20 per person. And then this year they changed it where you can still have 5 per person, but it's only from 19, and to 20, but you can only keep one per vessel over 19 inches.
Wow.
It does. It's sad because let's just say, for instance, my husband done caught that one, and he wants to put it on a mount on a piece of driftwood that we had from my first one I caught last year that did not revive. And I have a friend that's a taxidermist that actually still uses the actual skin off the fish to put on the mold for the mount. So when it wouldn't revive, we tried to revive that one because we like to revive the bigger ones because they're the ones that puts out the most eggs. They spawn more, and that's what you want. The bigger ones, you definitely, you want them to live. But his did not. mine did not fight me at all. So it was no problem at all at reviving mine. But let's just say, for instance, we kept his because it would died. It kept floating, and we eventually just got the net. Ma'am?
Wow. Go ahead, Carolyn.
Yeah. No, I was
Yeah,
going to say it's too bad you can't do some kind of video and still at least use the fish. Although when you send it to the bottom, so many other parts of the wildlife chain will, eat it and feed on it. But it's too bad you couldn't somehow video and say, look, we tried our best.
That is correct. And that's a good thing to do with the video saying, we tried, and stuff like that, if you're able to. But, there's so many. I mean, like we'll go out there in our area, and it's sad because we'll catch a lot of fish over 20 inches. We went yesterday and didn't get home till late last night, and we caught, a good bit that was over 20 inches. And we only had our one over 20 that we could keep per vessel now instead of per person. And it was a 23.5, 24-inch trout. And so the other ones we were catching were big too. But thankfully, we were able to hurry up and release it. With trout, you just got to try not to touch it as much. With the redfish, they're like dinosaurs. You don't have to do a lot with them, and they'll just swim off like it's nothing. But with trout, they're just more tender. And we have seen fish floating on the bottom a good bit where, like you said.
Wow. Well, it's always, for me, I remember the days of, I was in Panama City for quite a while, for about a little over 2 years. I was in the Air Force at the time. And at that time, we could catch whatever we wanted, keep whatever we wanted. And now I think about, we did a fishing trip not too long ago, catching snook, and we had to throw the snook back. And, even to this day, I've never, ever in my adult life had to throw a fish back, had to put a fish back ever, an edible fish. And these were gorgeous. These were big snook, and we had to put them back because it wasn't seasoned at the time. And it didn't set right with me. I don't want to put the fish. I want to take one of them home. Couldn't even take one of them home, So I know what it's like. They've reduced everything to one fish for a vessel. That's and then you catch these other ones that are every bit as good, but you can't for whatever reason. They decide.
Nope,
I know I know it's for conservation. We've had people on, particularly the one that comes to mind is down in the Tampa area. They did some conservation about the snappers. This is going back a year or so ago, and it was getting difficult to find the snappers there. And then people were reporting they were coming back, and everything was reviving again because of the conservation. So I understand, it's really for everybody wins in the long run, but it still doesn't make it any easier. Then you got to put them back.
No, you are definitely right.
Especially when you're stomping your feet, Riscala, because you really want to put that snook on your plate.
Yes, and snook's on my bucket list too. We'll catch snook in our area every now and then as they're moving through, but normally they're not big enough. They're smaller size, so we have to, of course, release them back. But they just move through here and there, and like the cobia will, drift through here and there. And when they do, we all like to get out and scout for them too. But you're right. But it does help. I will have to say our area some years back closed down for the month of February, where you had to catch and release trout. And it was for years. It was like that, a good bit of years. And we were all like, oh, my goodness. But, I will have to be honest, it really made a big difference with our trout as far as size-wise goes. We had some really nice, size trout. So it did help. It really did. They cut our reds back from two people to one people, one per person. So per day, when it used to be two, and that was changed too. And then just like this year, they're changing flounder.
Oh, really?
Throughout Florida.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, now it's crazy. I know some things don't make no sense, like with having the one per vessel over 19.
Yeah.
And I hate that because, let's just say you're going out there with your family, and it's sad to say, but there are people that's like this, but you go out there with your grandchild, and you already got a 22-inch in your cooler. And then, say your little Johnny, he catches him a nice 24. And he's so excited, I want to take it home. I want to keep it. I want to keep it. Some people, some people release it, but you'll have some people be like, go ahead, we're going to let him keep it, and they'll take the one in the cooler and just throw it in the bottom and say, hey, the crabs has got to eat, and it's sad.
So
Just because I hate that big ones that's having to die.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I can understand where you're coming from. Hopefully, in the overall scheme of things, that we will benefit from it all. Like you mentioned, in some places, like I've been talking about the trout and then the snapper down in the Tampa area, it does help overall, but it doesn't make it any easier to have to throw them back and have to have all these regulations.
It don't.
I wasn't even aware that they changed the regulations on flounder, so now I have to go look that up. They're constantly changing things on us, so if you're not aware of what's going on, you can find yourself on the wrong end of the legal battle, and
you sure can.
Fines and penalties, and then it becomes no fun anymore, and we don't want to do that.
And no, sir. And the fines and penalties are no fun either, because they have like everything else has gone up.
Jeez. Well, just be aware.
We're very cautious.
Go ahead, Carolyn.
Terrie, quick question. Which Coastal Angler edition is your story in? So I could jump online and take a peek at it. And we appreciate you calling, definitely calling in and sharing your story. And Wanda's going to be on a little bit later today, too, with us. So we can't wait to talk to her.
Oh, okay. Wonderful. Carolyn, I'll tell you right now, this moment, my mind is like, if you go to my page, or matter of fact, I'll go to my page to the article, because I just had it shared out again the other day, and I will tag you in it. When it came, it was a couple of months back.
Perfect. Can't wait to read up on it. And it's so awesome you took time to call in on a Sunday.
No, I thank you so much for inviting to have me back. I enjoyed it last time. I've enjoyed it this time. And anytime you guys want to have me back in the future, just let me know. I enjoyed talking with you. And I think you're awesome with your store and everything that you're doing for breast cancer, too.
Oh, thank you so much, Terry. Appreciate it. To all the women and families out there going through it, or have gone through it, or will go through it, we're available. I'm available to share my story. So pass my name along if you need to.
Absolutely. You're an amazing woman. Just know that.
All right, my dear.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for taking time to call in, and looking forward to having you back on sometime in the future with an update. And don't go away, my friends. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
You're listening to the Fishing in Florida show with your host, Scala Stevens. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
When it comes to parenting, there are no perfect answers. But that's okay, because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on adoption, visit adoptuskids.org. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Do you need toner for your Epson, Hewlett-Packard, Canon, Brother, Apple, or Sharp printers? Look no further than Laser Technologies. In business for over 20 years, they offer the lowest prices on toner on the web. They can also repair your laser printers and toners fast and easy. Call their expert staff today at 561-792-9600 or email us at service@laser-technologies.com for all your toner needs. All toner is shipped nationwide. Why wait? Get the lowest prices on toner. Call or email us today.
While other stations just talk a good game, we win it.
Hey, sounds like somebody's having a lot of fun.
And cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing and blowing on. When the sun shines all day. And they call me a grouper. So I'm fishing and blowing on. Oh yeah. Fishing and blowing on.
Good morning from the Sunshine State. Broadcasting from Palm Beach County, it's the Fishing in Florida show. Sundays from 8 to 10 a.m. on the WCET FM network. And now, here's your host, Riscala.
All right, we are back. It is the Fishing in Florida show. Good morning. Good morning. If you're just joining us, we will have an archive set up. On that archive will have a link, and the way to find that link is to go on Facebook. Find us on Facebook, Fishing in Florida show. Give us a like while you're there. It helps us remain relevant in the searches. And if you click on Contact Us while you're on Facebook, you will get a link to the live server. The easiest way to listen to us is download our app. Absolutely free. There is no spyware. There's no push notifications. There's no adware. Just a simple way to listen to our show. If you have the TuneIn app, well, a big thank you to Marina Rock Radio, because Marina Rock Radio is on the TuneIn app. you can tune in Marina Rock Radio using the TuneIn app, and you'll have our show. And of course, the final way is on our home network, www.wcetfm.com. That is our home network. You can go there and you'll find a player there as well. I want to thank you for whatever way you decide to choose to listen. Thank you for doing that. Greatly appreciate it. Let me welcome back my co-host, who is Carolyn. Carolyn is with Atlas Trax. If you want to protect what you love to the max, who are you going to call? Carolyn at Atlas Trax. Welcome back.
Hey, thanks a lot, Rascal. And I'll tell you, we have some great guests on this morning and future guests coming on the rest of the day, and I'm really excited about all of them.
Well, I think we have Mike Cleary. Mike Cleary is with FishAngler.com. Welcome, and good morning, Mike.
Yes, sir. Carolyn's first class, Atlas Trax, 100%. So make sure you're safe.
Yeah, absolutely. And I didn't pay him to say that, so that worked out pretty well. So
you don't have to pay him. Just be first class.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, for Scala and for the listeners, I met Mike not too long ago, and he's got a great story. He's an amazing captain locally in the area. He has a great concept of how to bring anglers and photos and information on your catches together. And Mike, I'd love you to share all about FishAngler.com and what you got going on.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a multi-digital application. We do forecasting, a logbook. You can download your catches just like Instagram or Facebook, but it's all fishing. You can connect with other fishermen. If you're fishing and you're not using it, confused. With the weather and the mapping side of it, I mean, it's a win-win. I fish for a living. I use it every single day. You can use any beacon you want. It's epic.
So you know what happens? So what happens is, let's say I was fishing chasing tails, and I did this. I'm a FishAngler.com girl now. And by the way, FishAngler.com is helping our ladies team spread the word about trying to encourage other women to fish and learn to fish, and, and our story about cancer. But here's what's so cool. I was posting pictures during the day, and it would let me put a pin on a map where I was, and it was saving my lunar details, the sea conditions, the temperature of the water. It was blending with NOAA. Correct me if I'm wrong, Michael. And so I could go back and look at that details of what I caught, what day, what time of day, lunar cycles, tides, seas, all that conditions to know and keep a history of what I'm catching. So it's almost like my own personal fishing logbook.
Wow.
It is your own personal logbook. So me bringing a logbook on the boat with me, I don't have to do that anymore. It's right in your pocket. Your phone goes overboard. You have it right there. It's unbelievable. We use NOAA. We use other assets. Knowledge is power. You know, tide, wind, current, barometric pressure. It's all right there in your hands.
And then people get to put pictures of what they've caught as well?
Absolutely. So there's a social media side of it as well.
Wow. Go ahead, Carolyn.
Right. I was saying, like, I was just in New York last week. I was able to click on the map, zoom into New York area, and other folks like myself that were posting stripers and black drum, holding up the picture. So if I wanted to really reach out to somebody in the area up there to see maybe they could help me fish or suggest some place to go, then I could also, just like Facebook, reach out to those folks. So it's almost like a Facebook for fishing, and they have a women's section. I mean, there's constant stream of beautiful, anything from like Terrie would do, snapper, Louisiana type style fishing, to New England fishing, to offshore here. And as Mike says, he runs the FishAngler.com boat. They're fishing tournaments. You guys fish chasing tails also, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yep. So we just had Shaughn Miller, offshore angler, Pompano Beach, on right before you. And how'd you guys do?
I did great. I ended up in the ER with a treble hook in my hand, but everything was good.
Oh.
It happens to the best of us.
Ouch. Oh.
All good.
Oh, my
we
goodness.
Did well. Big tunas, caught some dolphin, few short king bites. It's all about giving back, and Chasing Tails tournament is all about giving back. That's why we're there.
Again, another confirmation of what I was saying earlier in the show, that the community is constantly working to give back to people in need. They reach out. They say, again, seemingly like. Now, Mike, are you in this area? Are you in the West Palm Beach area, Pompano Beach area, Fort Lauderdale?
Yeah, I'm in Lighthouse Point. Yes, sir.
Okay. So you're again, right here in the area and giving back to the community right here in the area. And from what I understand, you're a commercial captain too? You're a charter captain or a commercial fisher?
No, private boats.
Uh-huh. Okay. And people can hire you?
All private boats. I'm hired out.
I see. Okay.
Right. So Mike runs for a private family and promotion of the fishangler.com. So you might see them going up and down the intercoastal here, Pompano Beach, Lake Boca, and their boats wrapped beautifully for the fishangler.com. It's a great app to put in your phone. There's no cost for it. And as soon as you load it in, you can start posting away. And it's a worldwide app that can be any one of our listeners can download it. It's not a regional. And here's what's really cool. Mike showed me you can actually pull up a NOAA buoy and you could see what the seas are at the buoy, what is the temperature, what is the tide. So just the fact they're linking with NOAA information is incredibly strong. Even for safety, if you're out somewhere and all of a sudden the seas kick up, you can get some good buoy details and know it's time to head back to the coast.
It's amazing.
Exactly.
That's amazing. Yeah, again, it's the technology. This is the part of the technology that I've always been in love with. It's like a kid in a candy store with me. It is when I think about what it takes to be able to do what you guys are saying. I'm from the technical side because I've been in the technical side.
You're on the phone with us, so you're doing something.
It is. It really is. It's amazing. And with Carolyn's technology, like she has the ability to find you within 10 feet of anywhere on the planet. You mix that with things like this fishangler.com where you can record everything and have, how long do they keep the information up? Hello?
Like the cloud.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear
As long as you need it.
Oh, okay.
Like the cloud.
Okay. So it's I'm trying to think of the right word. There is no time limit on it.
No, sir.
Cool.
Yeah, and a lot of times, Scala, these sailfish guys like Dean Panos, they've got to log and count every single sailfish, and they report it, whether they're tagging it or stats, because there's a lot of yearly prizes for who caught the most sailfish during the year. So this is another great way to take that paper and pen that always gets wet out of the equation. And I even use it just for my weather forecasting, even if I'm not going fishing. If I'm just going out and about, it's just so many different links, which is it's so helpful. And also just a little, it sort of tracks you a little bit too, because it knew when I was driving back down from New York, where I was on the highway. So it's always handy all the way around. I always have my Fish Angler app open.
So if I have this with me, I'm out on a boat and I'm logged in, I can send pictures real time. And does it record everything at that point where I'm at and the water temperature and all the other data that you were saying? Is that what happens?
Yes, sir. And if you don't want it to, you can keep it private.
Oh, cool. Do people put on their, I'm kind of paraphrasing, we went fishing and we caught mahi-mahi and we were using whatever bait it was and we were in this area. Do people share all of that information?
Absolutely.
Oh, cool. That's excellent.
There's a full tackle box section. You can tell people what kind of bait you're using, tackle, line, leader, hooks, anything you want.
And then there's an area that you can find the just general data about the weather itself as well.
Absolutely. So the forecast part is what I use every single day, multiple times a day.
Wow.
You can click on a buoy, the closest buoy relevant to where you're going to be fishing or whatnot, and get real-time data. So you have lunar moon phase. You'd have to go to 7 apps to get that in your pocket.
That's amazing. Wow. And all of that is, what is the name of the app? Fish Angler is the name of the app?
Yes, sir. Fish Angler.
Okay. And is there a link at fishangler.com, or you just go to one of the major stores and you can find it?
You can get it anywhere.
Excellent.
Major stores, iOS, Android.
Excellent.
Fishing.
How many users are there now, Michael?
We're covering up almost 2 million now.
Holy smokes! Wow.
Yeah, we're getting 3,000 to 5,000 downloads a day.
My goodness, that's amazing. I wish I could say that about our app. That would be, oh my goodness. Wow, that's amazing, Michael.
What's amazing is the data that we're giving people, and we're doing it, to grow the sport.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it's all about, growing the sport.
Giving back. I love it. This is
Right.
this is what really gets my heartstrings going, and from people that get involved and give back. Go ahead, Carolyn.
I was going to
Yes,
say,
sir.
what they're really focusing on and why they brought me on to help is to really push the women anglers and get them out. We're a part of the fishing community that can help grow the industry. And Mike, even we're having 4 lady anglers on today, anywhere from Louisiana to the Keys, and some of them are 200-ton captains. So, we really all of us want to get the girls out there fishing, and Mike has been so gracious to invite me as a guest angler, so I'm going to definitely take him up on that and promote this app, because I'll tell you, he's right. You have to open 7 apps to get weather and seas like we do in the morning, and then now the fish and lunar cycles like Mike Simcoe would be looking at. Now you get it all in one place. So I have it on my phone. I've had it on my phone for about 4 weeks now, and I love it.
Cool. Wow. Well, Michael, thank you so much for taking time to share with us this morning. I'm really impressed about this Fish Angler app. I'm going to have to go check this out and put it on my phone.
Well, why don't you download it and give me a call personally, and I'll walk you through it.
Excellent.
I fish for a living, and I use it every day.
Excellent. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate you taking the time to call in this morning. Let me let Carolyn say goodbye to you, and we're going to go to a break. I wish you an awesome day. What's left of it here, my friend?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely,
Thank
Michael.
you.
Reach out to me tomorrow if you need me to help them move that boat for you.
Yeah, let's do that.
You're
Got it.
listening
Thanks
to
for
the
calling.
Fishing in Florida show with your host, Scala Stevens. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Do you need toner for your Epson, Hewlett-Packard, Canon, Brother, Apple, or Sharp printers? Look no further than Laser Technologies. In business for over 20 years, they offer the lowest prices on toner on the web. They can also repair your laser printers and toners fast and easy. Call their expert staff today at 561-792-9600 or email us at service@laser-technologies.com for all your toner needs. All toner is shipped nationwide. Why wait? Get the lowest prices on toner. Call or email us today.
Do you have an unusual pet? Did you know that the Rainforest Clinic in Loxahatchee specializes in exotic pets? They see pets that other vets don't. Parrots and chickens, ducks, geese, turtles, snakes, goats, pigs, lizards, and even monkeys. Are you a beekeeper? Dr. Clubb, the first of her kind in the area? Yes, she takes care of bees as well. Dr. Susan Clubb has decades of experience and known around the world for her reputation as a premier avian vet. Located at 3319 E Road in Loxahatchee, just a short distance north of Okeechobee Road, you will find a modern clinic with in-house labs which allow you to get your test answers quickly. You can find them online at www.susanclub.com. That's www.susanclubb.com. Or you can reach her at 561-795-4878. It's Dr. Susan Clubb. That's 561-795-4878. The Rainforest Clinic located in Loxahatchee. 561-795-4878.
GTG, BRB, OMW, be there in a few. You may think that these kinds of texts are fine because of their length, and you can easily send them at a stoplight. But no, answering one text can take your attention away from the road for 5 seconds. And traveling at 55 miles an hour, that's enough time to travel the length of a football field. Make good decisions, don't text and drive.
Have you ever heard of Audible? Audible is a website with hundreds of thousands of audiobooks. They're all high quality, easy to listen to, and, best of all, if you take advantage of a special deal that we've worked out for you, you can get one for free. That's right, a free audiobook of your choice in any genre. simply by going to audibletrial.com/openeyes and signing up for the free trial. It's simple to do, and it would support the shows that we bring to you, and hey, you get a free book out of the whole thing. So why not take advantage of it today? Go to audibletrial.com/openeyes and sign up for the trial.
Being a dad is an adventure full of special moments.
A cruise?
Surprise! Unexpected moments.
I got this.
And even awkward moments.
Okay, Dad, thank you.
But every moment you spend with your kids, even the smallest moments, can make the biggest impact on your child's life. So take a moment to be a dad today.
While other stations just talk a good game, we win it.
Hey, sounds like somebody's having a lot of fun.
I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing and blowing on. When the sun shines all day. It just caught me a grouper. So I'm fishing and blowing on. Oh yeah. Fishing and blowing on.
Good morning from the Sunshine State. Broadcasting from Palm Beach County, it's the Fishing in Florida Show. Sundays from 8 to 10 a.m. on the WCET FM network. And now, here's your host, Riscala.
All right, we are back. Good morning if you're just joining us. It is the Fishing in Florida show. This morning I have Carolyn with Atlas Trax as my co-host. And if you want to protect what you love to the max, you got to talk to my friend over there at Atlas Trax. Miss Carolyn, welcome back. Miss Carolyn, let me get you off of mute there. Welcome back, Miss Carolyn.
No worries at all. And, you know, I feel bad for Mike. He is an avid professional fisherman, and, you know, they don't usually cry to the ER, but if you have a treble hook in your hand or wherever it was, I'm sure that was not coming out because he would have tried to take it out himself.
Oh, my goodness. I can't even imagine. And to have, I don't even, that hurts just to think about.
Yeah, he's a really cool guy. And hopefully new friendships will develop with that. And like I said, they really want to advance lady anglers and anglers. And his application for weather and fishing is so good, and it's so overdue and needed. So, yeah, make sure you check that out.
Oh, yeah, I'll have to take a look. The app sounds like it was really awesome. With all, you know, it's almost like what you do with the tracking information, right? It's very similar.
Great. If you want to brag and show where your fish is, you can keep it public. If you want to keep it private and just have a little logbook, you know, as far as in your app, your phone, if you lose your phone, you just log on to the next phone. So it's super handy, and it's always great. I mean, I post a couple pictures every day if I can. And, you know, it's very much, I hate to use the word Facebook, it's very much a social media place where it's all fishermen of any type. I mean, I've seen shrimpers, I've seen, you know, little bass guys that are posting pictures. So, and it's fun. I can't wait to see what other people catch.
That, you know, I think about all the fishing trips that I've taken long before any of this was available, and I think to myself, my gosh, because there was a couple places, as you're probably aware, one of my favorite places was Alligator Light, which is a lighthouse down in Anamorada that Angelia comes on and tells us about. And there were places that I used that as my reference point, and there were places that we would go out from there, but I could, you know, as hard as I tried, I couldn't find them again. And to be able to know what the temperature of the water was, what the tide was, and all of this other data that's available, that really kind of helps you focus down, make it almost a science when you go back and do it again, right?
No, absolutely. And look at Mike Simcoe from the Kite Fisherman. I mean, he's always coming on and telling us about lunar cycles and tides and the best time to fish. And all of that information is right here on this app. And he's an expert. So I'll have to share that with him. And, you know, he reached out to us even when we were fishing Chasing Tails as well, and wished us luck. And, you know, for a guy like that who's an avid fisherman, it was we were flattered to have him check on us.
Well, my next guest is another one that promotes women anglers, and you know, like we have said many times on the show, if you didn't have moms, nobody would be going fishing. So if you can get mom involved, that's one of the best things that you can do. Welcome, Miss Wanda Stewart.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, Wanda. How's it going, girl?
It's going great. We went fishing this past weekend. Of course, it was very windy. We caught a few and basically had a great time out on the water, but we didn't fill the box. But as you all know, fishing here in Louisiana, we fish all year round, and it's good to be on the show.
Hey, you know what the key words that I heard out of that was? We didn't do very good, but we had a good time, right?
Always, always.
There you go.
You know, it's not always about putting fish in the box. It's about getting out there and reconnecting with Mother Nature.
Amen.
And it does wonders for the mind and for the soul.
Go ahead, Carolyn.
I was going to say what's awesome about Wanda is she's always out. She's always posting beautiful reds and all kinds of pictures. And you know what she does is expertise is promoting girls like us, women like us, especially now with this October month. Women like Terrie who are out there fishing and trying to get out there, live life, and encourage other women to fish. So Wanda is I think the leader in doing all that for us. She's
Been a very influential individual. Wanda, if you've got a station playing in the background or something, I'll need you to turn it down. Or if you've got us on speakerphone, turn this volume down just a little bit because we're getting feedback.
Okay, I got you. All right. No, I love promoting women in the outdoor industry because they don't get the recognition that the men do. And I think that if we network together, we can really help those women be able to go ahead and put their business out there because they're trying to find their niche in the outdoor industry now. And they're really coming on the scene, and you're going to be seeing a lot more women out on the water and a lot more women in the woods.
I love it. I love it. To me, this is a way, again, it's been my personal experience. This is a way for families to do things together, to help, if you will, glue the families together because there is such an attack on families today, to break the families down. And this is a way to combat that, if you will. And it's a very enjoyable, relaxing, my gosh, there's not enough words to describe it for me anyway, when we're out there and enjoying God's gift to us. Louisiana has water basically on one side of the state. We've got it on three sides of the state, so we should be doing it 3 times more than Wanda's doing it, right?
Well, I'll tell you one thing about our fishing industry is you can fish all year round, and we have some of the best fishing in the world. But promoting the women, I built a website, runrealgirls.com. And basically, that website allows the women to post on there and to post their business, to post their links and everything back to what they're doing in the outdoor industry. And I encourage a lot of the women out there to help others, support them, and especially the ones that are coming on the scene that are newbies. They want to get out there. They have a particular interest, and they might not be pros at it. So we want to help them get out there, pick up a rod and reel, or maybe just show them around. A lot of them want to learn how to hunt. So those are the things that we network to do, and we support other women. And I want to bring more women on board to do that. It's not just about promoting your business, but it's about helping others get started in theirs as well.
Go ahead, Carolyn.
And I was going to say what's so cool about Wanda, too, is she's got an awesome line of gear. And I've got one of her hoodie sweatshirts that says Rod and Real Girl and my name on the back. Once I put on something with my name on it, it totally changes my attitude of when I have a fishing rod in my hand because I feel like a pro, even though I'm not. And that's a really cool thing. So, Wanda, I'm hoping other listeners or other gals, if they want to order your gear, they can certainly get the hoodie. And I can't wait, Florida, it's getting cooler, to start getting mine out of the closet.
Oh yes, I mean it's a great hoodie, and it's customized. They can have their own name on it, and of course it has the Rod and Real Girl logo on it. And I get compliments on it all the time from men and women. They really love it, and it's basically is what my character was about. I didn't start out to sell the hoodies. I just started out to have something that was indicative of me in Louisiana. And of course, sunsets and pelicans and pink, I really love that. So I went out and designed my own hoodie. And then the next thing I know, they had people that wanted to order it. So I set up a line for it. They get their own name on it and their logo if they want it as well. And they, of course, they can find it at ronrealgirls.com. Or they can find it on my social pages, Wanda Stewart, on Facebook and Instagram as well.
Okay, Wanda, but you said...
Wanda, in your spare time, you help promote businesses, and I know you help promote Atlas Trax for me. If someone wanted to reach out to you and get a little help on promoting their business, how would they do that part? Because you not only fish, you help the ladies get promoted, and you also promote businesses. How would someone get to you about that?
Well, basically what I'm doing now, I am designing websites. I am doing landing pages for those that want to post their businesses. And, of course, they can contact me on the website. There's a contact page on runrealgirls.com, or they can contact me through social media on Facebook under Wanda Stewart. And I do help the women set up landing pages, get their pictures, their links, and things like that link back to them. And, of course, the guides in the industry, the fishing guides, they help me a lot because they do pay an advertising fee a month, and that helps me to promote the other women. And like I said, a lot of the guys are helping me because they believe in promoting women in the outdoor industry, and that's helping us a lot because if we can get more the fishing guides that believe in that, then it helps a lot of the other women too, and the female guides too, because we have several female guides that just got their fishing licenses in the past couple of years, and I promote them as well. So, if we network together, everybody gets a slice of the pie. It's not just about one person or one entity.
Another one of the deals where everybody wins. See, I love that. I love
it. Exactly.
So you said the website a couple of times, but I want to go back to the website for a moment. Just make sure people, if they go to look it up, it's Rod and Reel Girls.
RodandReelGirls.com.
And it's R-O-D, the letter N or and?
No, the letter N.
And then Real.
R-E-E. Yeah, realgirls.com.
And it's Real, R-E-E-L, not R-E-A-L?
Yes.
So R-O-D, the letter N, R-E-E-L, girls.com.
Yes, and or you can look it up under rnrgirls.com as well, abbreviated. But I wanted to say a quick thank you to Carolyn Stash because I really enjoy working with her and the breast cancer awareness team that she has set up. And, I hope a lot of people go to her page as well and help promote what she's doing. And then we have a couple of other ladies that's on the scene. Stacy Fortina, she's really great out there helping promote women. She's gone into the Pro Series. And then when we have Terrie Huffmaster that's come on board to help me promote Rod and Real Girls. And then we have Bayou Barbie, Lisa K. Crossan that's out in Slidell, Louisiana.
I love it. We had Terrie on earlier, by the way.
Oh, really? Well, I missed her. Sorry about that.
Yeah, we had her.
She's a great person. She fishes a lot, and she's come on board to help promote the women. And also, too, we have Women of the Outdoors chapter in Louisiana now that we're going to be setting up events for the women here in Louisiana. And we joined a network with the Women of the Outdoors out of Massachusetts over there with Phyllis Rowe. And that's another thing that's going to be helping a lot of women when we set up events. And they'll be able to come on board here in Louisiana to join in the events. And I have 2 tournaments coming up I'd like to say something about on the 17th and 18th of this month. I'll be fishing a breast cancer awareness tournament over in Cocodrie, Louisiana. And then also we'll have what they call a fish donkey tournament, an online tournament, virtual tournament, and it'll be to help the hurricane victims over in Lake Charles. And we have a special person, the recipient, who is Phil Broussard, and he's a guide over there. He's been in the business for over 50 years, and they lost their whole camp and everything. So we're doing this to help them out, and our registration fees will be going to the recipient.
Wow. I know you weren't listening earlier, but all you're doing is confirming what I've said about the fishing community here in South Florida. And I said it's not just here in South Florida, it's other places as well. And you just confirmed that with what you said. To have to have a loss like that is devastating. On October 24th, 1992, there was a hurricane that came through South Florida. It was named Andrew. I happened to be in the area that hurricane came through, and it literally destroyed our whole neighborhood. And it was a really sad feeling, sick feeling, to realize you're homeless. You're literally homeless. And we didn't have what we have today. We didn't have people, well, I'm sure the people were there, but we didn't have the ability to communicate like we have today and get the word out like we have today. And it was difficult for us back then. And I'm ever so grateful for people like you who do things like this. Again, it's a community, it's a person working with the community to reach back out to people in need of the community. And it's all revolving around fishing. It's awesome. For me, it's awesome.
Well, I've met some wonderful people through fishing, and I tell you what, a lot of people say, that it's a hobby, but to me, it's a way of life. I love it. I love what I do, and I have the support of my husband. He loves to fish, so we try to integrate everything together when we're out fishing. Like the products that I have on the boat to promote that. Any chance that I get, any opportunity that passes my way to promote a product, or one of my advertisers, or one of the events, like what Carolyn does, breast cancer awareness, I do it. And if you can put up a link and somebody can send in $5 or $10, you would be surprised at how that adds up. It's really amazing. And people think, well, I don't have this, or I don't have a lot of money. But if you just donate $5, I mean, it's amazing of how much it adds up and the difference it makes in the recipient's, life.
I agree.
And Wanda, I've said a few times, and I'm going to make sure that I do this tomorrow. I know you're out, and you're out at nighttime a lot. I'm going to send you up one of the trackers so you can have it on your boat, and we can make sure we can keep an eye on you if your engine breaks down or you're way overdue, and your family can keep an eye on you. And our next guest, Angelia, she's got a tracker. She took it all the way to Alaska, and it was life-saving for her as far as, family not worrying about her. So I'll get one out in the mail to your house tomorrow for you.
Okay, well, I sure appreciate that. And I appreciate you guys having me on the show, and I just want to let everybody know, I mean, networking, and helping each other out and supporting each other. I mean, everybody wins,
Amen.
And I believe in that.
That's what I believe in as well, my friend. That's really what my heart's strings are, is when everybody wins. I love that. Why? Because, don't tell anybody, but I'm part of everybody.
Yes. Well, and women are great promoters. They're very passionate about what they do. I mean, and they're great promoters. If you have a product out there, and just like a lot of our pro staffers, they're going to promote that product. And and that's what I teach them. I teach them how to put in links. I teach them how to put in hashtags. And I remind them every time, if you want somebody to buy your product, make sure that link is there, because we're in a world of click and go. People are not going to go look for that link. They're not going to go look for that URL. If it's not right there in front of them, they're not going to look for it. So you're going to lose out on sales if you don't include links to everything.
All right, my friend. Well said. And we're going to head off into the next break so we can bring on the next guest. Thank you so very much for taking time to share with us, and thank you for what you do. I'll let Carolyn say goodbye to you, and we'll be off to a break.
Thank you,
Wanda,
Raquel.
Thank you so much, Wanda. You're an amazing woman, and I look up to you, so keep going.
Well, thank you, girl, and hopefully we'll get together soon and do that fishing trip.
Yeah.
You're listening to the Fishing in Florida show with your host, Scala Stevens. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
When it comes to parenting, there are no perfect answers. But that's okay, because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on adoption, visit adoptuskids.org. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Listen and imagine. It takes 5 seconds to send a text, and for those 5 seconds, you're driving blind. Life is worth more than a text. Stay alive. Don't text and drive.
Do Do you need toner for your Epson, Hewlett-Packard, Canon, Brother, Apple, or Sharp printers? Look no further than Laser Technologies. In business for over 20 years, they offer the lowest prices on toner on the web. They can also repair your laser printers and toners fast and easy. Call their expert staff today at 561-792-9600 or email us at service@laser-technologies.com for all your toner needs. All toner is shipped nationwide. Why wait? Get the lowest prices on toner. Call or email us today.
Being a dad is an adventure full of special moments.
A cruise?
Surprise! Unexpected moments.
I got this.
And even awkward moments.
Okay, Dad, thank you.
But every moment you spend with your kids, even the smallest moments, can make the biggest impact on your child's life. So take a moment to be a dad today.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
We have ignition. Strap in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing and blowing on. When the sun shines all day. It just calls me a grouper. So I'm fishing and blowing on. Oh yeah. Fishing and blowing on.
Good morning from the Sunshine State. Broadcasting from Palm Beach County, it's the Fishing in Florida Show. Sundays from 8 to 10 a.m. on the WCET FM network. And now, here's your host, Riscala.
All right, we are back. It is the Fishing in Florida Show. Welcome. If you're just joining us, we will be having archives set up, and you can find those archives on our Facebook page. If you go to Fishing in Florida Show on Facebook and click on like, if you would, while you're there, that makes us relevant in the searches, and you'll find a link to the archives. Let me welcome back my co-host. That is Carolyn, and she is with Atlas Trax. If you want to protect what you love to the max, who are you going to call? Carolyn over there at Atlas Trax. Welcome back, Miss Carolyn.
Thanks so much, Riscala. Sunday's not a Sunday without you.
God bless you, my dear. And next one of my favorite lady anglers is Angelia. Angelia is down there in the place that I love so much. If she's not down there, she's real close to it sometimes. And that is Islamorada. Welcome, Miss Angelia. How you doing this morning, my dear?
I'm doing fantastic. How's everybody?
Awesome.
Very good. Yeah, we kind of got rained out yesterday with that little unexpected tornado that formed there over the tip of Mexico. But today is beautiful again.
I didn't hear about it. You had a tornado?
I'm sorry, did I say tornado? Hurricane. It's early yet.
Oh.
Yeah, we had a Tropical Storm 25 that turned into Hurricane Gamma, and it was off the Yucatan Peninsula there, and it just gave us a lot of outer bands of rain yesterday. Yesterday was a complete washout for us. I'm sorry to say tornado. Definitely
all right,
hurricane.
that's all right.
But yeah, today again is beautiful. And I was looking forward to talking to you guys today because we've talked a lot about mahi over the summer. And I was completely unsuccessful this summer, although I spent a lot less time out there fishing for them than I would have liked. But I'm good friends with the head boats down here and know most of the guys that work on them. And darn if one of the head boats did not go out last week and the captain from the wheelhouse could see the mahi in the water. So he had the mates start pitching out chunk bait to him. And they caught a couple over 20-pounders off of the head boat at Bud and Mary's.
Oh,
I've spent thousands of dollars in gas and days and hours and went out to 900 feet of water, and they caught them on the reef off the head boat. Oh yeah, I had to bow my head in shame.
Oh my! That is. There were times, one of my favorite places is Alligator Rock down there, Alligator Light. And we would use that as a reference point when we would go out. Well, there were many times that we would go out in similar situations where, my gosh, I don't know how much we spent on fuel. We get out there and there's weed lines and all the parameters that you look for. They're all out there, everything but the birds, diving in the water. And we don't catch anything. And then we decide, well, we're going to go back near the lighthouse where the drop begins. So we'll drift across where the drop is. And this one particular time we were there and we're drifting across, and I looked down, and there were hundreds and hundreds of peanut dolphin all around us. Here we were out there trying our darndest to get just one or two and couldn't catch anything. And when we gave up, threw our hands up, I said, pull everything up. We're going to go in. We're going to drift. And when we did that, here they came to us. Of course, they were little bitty guys, amazing? But, it's just amazing how it can be like that.
Well, the big ones are really, really fun to catch, but I truly believe that the schoolies taste better. It's almost, they're just smaller and they're less muscular and they're more tender. I think they taste better. So if I catch a 25-pounder and I catch a couple of schoolies, I'm going to eat the schoolies first. Yeah. But I think I told you guys before, I found the almost perfect weed line, the most perfect weed line I've found in years that went out from the Islamorada hump. And I followed it for miles back and forth, and nothing. I mean, nothing. So I was actually really thrilled to hear that these guys were catching them right off the head, though, on the reef, 20-plus pounders on the reef, and very near your favorite Alligator Reef Lighthouse,
Oh,
too.
my goodness.
But at least they're still out there, and the wahoo are definitely starting to come in. It should be sailfish season here real, real soon. I'm excited as heck about that, and the fishing's been fine. I have to tell you guys a little story about something really sad that happened. I spent a lot of time out there at that Alligator Reef, and it's been just beautiful all summer. The conditions have just been glorious. But I came upon a turtle that had obviously been hit by a prop, and he had a giant gash. I'll post pictures on Instagram and Facebook here soon, but he had a giant gash in the back of his shell, and he was bleeding, and he was floundering in the water. And he was very large. He was about the size of a large trash can lid. And I called the turtle hospital here locally, and they would not send anyone out. So I called FWC, and they were in no hurry to come out, which was a little disappointing. When I called the turtle hospital back, they actually said to put him on the boat. And I said, how in the world do I put a 200-pound turtle on the boat and bring him to you?
Yeah.
Plus, that's very illegal. I'd already called FWC. But the saddest thing in the world is absolutely beautiful loggerhead that had this giant prop gash in the back of his shell. He's bleeding in the water, and we literally watched him drown.
Oh.
It was absolutely heartbreaking. So just everybody be real careful. We've got the manatees migrating back down to the Keys right now in large numbers. And with the turtles and the manatees, everybody just needs to be careful. Just watch where you're going.
Be aware.
Be real careful.
Mindful. Yeah.
Be very aware, because our marine life is just magnificent. And I can't stand to see something like that happen after years and years of conservation efforts to bring these turtles back, which they are back in numbers. But it was really heartbreaking. So just be aware, everybody. We've got those sharp props on our boats, and we love it, and we're having fun, but be aware.
Especially when we're in the area, like I use alligator light as an example a lot, because the water is so very clear. You can see these things in the water.
Crystal clear. Crystal clear. And I even had...
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I even had an incident a few days later after that, just a few days ago, where I was out there leaving the lighthouse, and I got the boat underway, and, we're going, 30 knots, and which is a pretty good speed. And I had one surface dead in front of me. And you've never seen anybody make a quicker maneuver around this turtle. I mean, I was not going to be the one that hits him with a prop,
Yeah.
So you got to be really aware, keep your eyes peeled.
Yeah.
And yes, the water's crystal clear out there. There's no way you can't see it if you got your eyes peeled. So.
Yeah. Go ahead, Carolyn.
I was going to say, we fished a little tournament up here, Angelia, and we were lucky enough to have a tower on the center console. We were fishing, and we were running a weed line. This captain was so good at sighting fish. He saw a rogue wahoo darting in and out of the weed line. And you never see a guy hit the brake so quick on a quad-engine boat. The girls went flying off the seats. We all fell on the ground. And thankfully they had that rubberized floor, because we all looked at each other and went, what the heck just happened? And he's like, get the lines in. There's a wahoo. So we know exactly what you're talking about, running those weed lines and doing a good job trying to put people on fish.
And I tell you what, sight fishing from a tower is phenomenal. The higher up I am off of the water, I can see so much better. And it's just amazing. When you get your eyes down there and you can actually see down into the water, it's so much fun when you can see things like that and actually pitch bait out at them. It's just amazing. The higher I am off the water, the happier I am because I can see everything. So it's a really fun thing, especially sighting a wahoo, dipping in and out of the weed line's got to be exciting. Did you catch him?
No, we didn't, unfortunately. But you know what? When we were looking for him, we actually hooked up to a real nice sailfish. One of the girls never caught one before. It wasn't part of the tournament, but we had a blast fighting that fish.
There's never a bad time catching a sailfish. That is the most fun thing to me ever. And sailfish season's coming hard and fast right now, so I couldn't be more excited about it. And in the meantime, on the bay side of our islands, on the beautiful bay side of our islands, not only, like I said, do we have the manatees coming back in herds. This is the time of year that they come from the cooler waters up north back down to the temperate waters down here. We had a few residents that stayed year-round, but right now we're coming into herds of them traveling south, which is really fun to see. And for some reason, the porpoises are still just thick on the bay side.
Wow.
I mean, we hardly go a day without seeing them. And it's just, I don't care if I see them 3 times a day. I'm going to squeal and I'm going to get chill bumps and I'm going to watch them the whole time and chase them. And they are the most fun. Yeah, we had one that was just, we had a bunch that came around the boat and one that kind of hung out playing in the wake. And when you've got paying passengers, especially passengers that aren't from here and they're specifically out there, you know, they want to see the wildlife and experience what we have out here. When you get a bunch of them around the boat like that and you get people from the Midwest just freaking out, it's so much fun. And we had this one little guy that started playing in the wake, and he did about 8 3-foot jumps in the air.
Wow.
Just playing and putting on a show. And I caught about his last 3 jumps on video. And it's hard to take video when you're at the helm, but I caught about his last 3 jumps on video, and I have to put that one up too because just magnificent. I truly believe that they enjoy putting on a show for us. Not a whole lot of other explanation why they would behave so fun around us, but watching people that aren't from here get to experience that for the first time is just so fulfilling. It's really nice.
There was
I took a group out to Alligator Reef the other day too. Sea turtles, a bunch of eagle rays were out there. The reef is just packed with fish underneath the lighthouse, and one big giant Goliath grouper right underneath the reef. I mean the lighthouse. You would have loved it, Rascala.
Oh my! There was a time that we were fishing. I had my brother and I and my dad, and we were out fishing. And I asked my brother to take the helm, and I got on the front of, I was on the bow of the boat, holding a line to kind of help stabilize myself. And I looked down, and there was at least 4 or 5 of these dolphins, and 2 of them were swimming upside down looking at me. And, you know, when they look at you, it looks like they're smiling anyway. And I couldn't help but start laughing. And where my brother was sitting, he was at the helm. He couldn't see them because they were right at the bow. And so I signaled to him to slow down. He slowed down, and they were swimming in circle, almost like the Old West movies where the cowboys would put the wagon trail into a circle, and then the Indians would run around. And that's what I felt like. I felt like I was the wagon. I was in the center, and they were swimming around us. They probably hung out for 3 or 4 minutes. It was amazing. It felt like a lifetime.
Isn't it just awesome? Just the most amazing thing. And I swear that's one of the reasons why I almost believe they enjoy checking us out as much as we enjoy checking them out. And when people on the boat start squealing and cheering, I almost think they can hear it, and they start having fun and dancing, and like you said, doing little cool barrel rolls in the water, and what amazing creatures. And I don't know why they're in such giant numbers on our bay side. In 3 foot of water, there'll be a pod of 25 dolphins. It's just amazing. Yeah. Wow. And I had the joy of having my parents down here in the Keys last weekend. And I'm constantly sending my mother all of these dolphin videos, and she had said, save some for me. And I went back up into a little creek in the back country, just kind of showing them around. And darn, it's in a creek that I've never seen them in. We got into a big pod for my mother, and she had said, save some for me. So I said, see, I saved some for you, Mom. But they had a glorious time. So it's been just really nice down here. Minus yesterday was a nice stormy day, but it's just been glorious. It's actually cooling off a little bit too.
Yeah, I
so it's a great time to get down here and go fishing.
Well, as what happens when we're having a good time, we are all out of time. So before we go, quickly, if you would give out the information, if people want to find out about you, how can they reach you?
They can reach me at Florida Salty Cowgirl on Facebook, Florida Salty Cowgirl on Instagram, and you can always reach me on my cell phone at 813-610-0078. Texting me is the best way to get to me.
God bless you, my friend. Thank you for sharing with us. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you, Carolyn, for being co-host this morning. I greatly appreciate you, my friend, spending the time with me. Let me let you say goodbye to Angelia, and we're off for the day. Thank you, everyone.
Mahi. You're breaking up, Carolyn, but I hope you have a fantastic day, babe.
You too. Go get that mahi.
You got it, girl.
So long, everybody.